Welcome, everyone, to the Dr. Blue Duck podcast, a gaming podcast aimed at gaming dads out there. So, if you are a gaming dad, this podcast is for you. And what I want to talk about today is playing with randoms. Now, I kind of made a mistake online the other day. I had a few minutes, so I hopped on Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and I said, what the heck? I'm just going to go ahead and play with some randoms. How bad can people be? I know, a huge mistake, right? Now, normally what I do is I play Fortnite every other Thursday from around 8:30 to 9:30, and I play with my bros from my life group at church. There's about three other guys. Sometimes we rotate guys in, but about three other guys that we play squads with on Fortnite. And it's such an encouraging time. We're all there talking to each other. One guy is super bubbly and funny. The other guys are just super authentic and real as well. And it's just a great time for us just to encourage each other, to have this group task and goal that we're doing to try to get a victory royale. And it's just a full time of encouragement. So I'm used to that. That's what I'm used to. So playing a little Call of Duty, I hopped on and just started playing. I put on my earphones and I had my mic ready to go, and some of the people were playing as a team. We were conquering areas, and they were like, okay, C's conquered. Okay, we got C. Okay, move on. Let's move on to A. Hey, we lost C. Let's go back to C. So there was kind of some group efforts there, some talk going on, and then it happens. We had a guy, he sounded like he was probably about 16 to 20 years old. I couldn't really tell. And this guy was just on there saying horrific things, horrible things, just crossing every line you could possibly cross, trying to say things just to be offensive to every type of person out there. And he was just trying to be hateful. And for me, hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my family, I'm a high school art teacher. So in my high school art class, I have a high standard of academic rigor. So students aren't allowed to use profanity in my class. We're kept busy creating artwork and trying to improve. We have art shows that we're busy preparing for. So in my world and my arena of people and hanging out with all my friends at church, I'm not around that type of conversational vernacular per se. I'm just not around it. And most people I'm around, they're somewhat encouraging. If they say something critical, there's some type of logic behind it. But this guy was just throwing out every type of derogatory slur you could imagine, just trying to hurt people, just trying to say hateful things to people over and over again as fast as he could. And every second of gameplay, he was just trying to throw out and spit out as much derogatory evil as he possibly could. And it was weird listening to this guy. I almost kind of felt like it was something evil I was listening to. Not that he was necessarily the evil, but there was something behind him trying to get him to say these things, and he was being played by some type of demonic force or something. So I didn't respond much because, I'm not going to be some guy yelling at some other person for a video game. But before I blocked him and reported him as well, I told him something. I said, hey man, you are created for more than this. You are created for a better purpose than to just get online and say hateful things to random people who you don't even know for no reason whatsoever. I said, you have a greater purpose in life than this. And I think that probably made him a little bit more upset, because then he started to vulgarly attack me, which he didn't know anything about me. So he was just making up stuff without any sort of logic or intelligence whatsoever, just saying every hateful thing he possibly could, which is kind of sad. And why I bring this up is, first of all, I want to warn the dads out there. Dads, if you're looking for people to play with, what I suggest doing is, if you have like some type of church Bible study life group, find some friends there who you can connect with and have this be a thing, have gaming be a thing of encouragement and bonding and growing real life relationships with people in real life. Because once you start to talk to people, what you find out is that there's a lot of gaming dads out there. We normally don't parade it to everyone. We're not like, hey, everyone, I'm a gaming dad. Anyone want to play Fortnite online? We don't do that. But once you start talking to people, what you find out is there's a lot of gaming dads out there who do spend time online, and they're looking for wholesome and encouraging fellow gaming dads to play with. So throw it out there and just say, hey, dads in this group or dads in that group, hey, I'm going to be on at this time every week or every other week from this time to this time. I would love for you to join. Hey, no pressure. We're not very competitive. We're not very good. We're just here to have fun and encourage each other. Throw out those invites to people and you'll be surprised who decides to join you. And also, if you're not part of a church or any type of group like that, and you're looking for some people who aren't just completely random to play with, I found Facebook is a great place to, or maybe not great, but a good place to find some people to build some good relationships with. I know on Facebook, there's some groups called like Fortnite Dads and Call of Duty Dads, stuff like that. So you can actually get on there and be like, hey, I don't really use a lot of horrific language, but I'm looking for some nice dads to play Call of Duty with or Fortnite with or Overwatch 2 with, whatever you play. And you can build a community, exchange gamer tags, and then even schedule a time online to play together. And that's going to be something that's a lot more encouraging than playing with just some random hateful kid. I think he was a kid, some hateful kid online who's just going to say horrific things, trying to hurt everything and everyone he possibly can. You know what he kind of reminded me of? It reminded me of those old Western movies where the bad gunslinger pulls out his gun and he shoots and he misses, but he gets shot. And as he's slowly falling to the ground, he's still just shooting left and right, trying to take out everyone he possibly can with no appreciation or value to life. So why I bring this up is, since this channel is for gaming dads out there, gaming dads, I know you guys, especially in this Duck Squad community of gaming dads, I know you guys are good dads. I know you guys care about being responsible dads and being good dads and being present dads and dads who are involved in their kids' lives. But what I also want to do is encourage you and say that there are people out there, there are young men out there, specifically say men, because you don't want to be talking to these young girls online, but these young men out there who do not have dads, or they do not have father figures in their lives. And what you can do is not just be a good dad to your children, but to be a dad to the fatherless as well. And of course, you're not going to be what they need fully. They're not going to take the place of their biological dad who's probably absent, or maybe they've never known them, but you can be a father figure in their life and bring some sort of guidance and some sort of encouragement to them that they might desperately be needing. And when I think about that young man who was just saying such hurtful things randomly, just to random people in a video game in Call of Duty Black Ops 6, it makes me think there's a reason why. He's hurting, he's lost, he's broken, and there's probably not a man or men in his life investing into him and showing him the way, showing him the path, showing him how to be a quality person in life. And there's a saying that hurt people hurt people. And he's probably a hurt young man who is now out there trying to hurt people. And when we try to go out and we try to help people, be aware that a lot of people have been abused to a horrible point where they're almost kind of like a beaten little dog. And if you've ever seen a beaten little dog before, like a little tiny Chihuahua dog that's running the street and it's just been abused and hurt and just beaten, And if you go up to that little Chihuahua dog and you try to give it a treat, or you try to give it food, or you try to pet it, what's that dog going to do? It's naturally just going to, it's just going to attack you because it doesn't know, it doesn't understand. It's been so hurt and so abused and so neglected that it doesn't understand that someone might be trying to help it. And there's young guys out there, young kids, the same thing applies to them. I see this in some of my students. They've been so abused, they've been so neglected that when you try to encourage them, when you try to lift them up, when you try to build them up, they don't even know how to take it. And they almost just kind of snap back at you. And our job is to just be patient and continue to love on people, to continue to encourage people over and over and over and over again, time after time. Just like we do with our own kids, we can do that with the other people that God has placed in our lives. Maybe if you're an uncle, or maybe you're involved as a coach, or maybe you're a teacher, or maybe there's all these other places in life where there's going to be young men who need that father figure, that are going to need that encouragement. And it's of course, it's good for us to do that with our own kids, but we're fathers, and we can almost be fathers as well to the fatherless. We can be encouragers of those and be those dad figures to those kids, those young men who don't have any in their life. So that's something that had me thinking when I had that occurrence just last night, actually playing some Call of Duty. And I think about my grandpa. My grandpa, I call him Papa. He lives out in Oklahoma in the middle of nowhere. And my family, we have a golden doodle dog. I love all the doodles. And he heard that golden doodles don't shed and they're good dogs. And he wanted to get one, but they cost a lot of money. So right away we got one. We saved up to go to Hawaii. And during that year, there was all those fires in Hawaii, and there was lava on the street. So we were like, maybe it's not a good year to go to Hawaii. So we took that money and bought a golden doodle dog instead. And it's been our dog. So my papa, my grandpa in Oklahoma, he wanted one, but they're pricey. And he found one that had been neglected. And the agency that found the dog and found that it had been abused for so many years, they were going to go ahead and put it to sleep. They were going to put it down because they thought it was beyond hope. And somehow, I don't know how this happens, but somehow he got a hold of that dog. And he didn't just go up and shove food in its face or make it be petted at the very beginning. He was so patient and so slow. And he moved at that abused dog's pace. And it took a long time, month after month after month. And now that dog is the most loyal dog and does not leave my grandpa's side. So the same thing with people, and not that people are dogs, obviously. It's just an analogy here. Okay, analogy. Don't go off in the comments and be like, hey, Dr. Blue Duck called us all dogs. No, obviously we're humans and not animals. But in a similar way, people, when we've been abused or we've been hurt, and we all been hurt to some degree, when we've been abused and hurt, when people come along, we have these barriers. We have fortified ourselves. And sometimes what we need to do is just slowly love on people, slowly encourage people. And after month after month after month, sometimes year after year after year, it sometimes takes that much time so that people drop their walls and let people love on them and let people encourage them and let people build them up. So the overall point of this video, gaming dads out there, is for the gaming dads who love gaming. Number one, don't spend too much time playing with randoms, because you're going to come across all types of people trying to hurt people. Sometimes it's so much better just playing with people you actually know, or people who actually want to develop encouraging relationships with other people. But the point here is that not only can we be fathers to our own kids, which isn't obvious, but we can also be encouragers and builders and people who uplift the fatherless. So that's just the encouragement for today. And I know I don't have very much time to do that. And I invest so much in my own kids, my own family. It's hard to do that. But as a teacher, I have an opportunity to do that. And I try to do that. I don't always do it well. I'm so busy trying to do so much. But that's a challenge for me. And I'm going to throw that out there as a challenge for you guys too, you gaming dads, to not just be dads to your own kids out there, but to be dads to the fatherless as well, and encourage those kids who need direction so bad and have been so neglected and even abused. So anyways, if you guys want to be a part of the Duck Squad, go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about all of that. And as always, be kind, use your mind, and game on.